was our stream sponsors right there. Stream sponsor was Landmark of Taylorville. Also, the WTIM Pana Morning Show brought to you by Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited, as mentioned, live stream up on Facebook at Taylorville Daily News and on YouTube at WTIM TV. We are joined by Kim Toberman, Pana City Clerk, on the phone. Kim, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing super well. And thank you so much for taking the time being here with us today, kind of rounding out our shows. It's been, of course, Pana Morning Show, but it's really been all about Pana, all about the development and the current things going on in Pana. So just from your perspective as the Pana City Clerk, I mean, Independence Day is right around the corner here. You got Pana Pride. People are out in full force in Pana right now. What does that mean to you? And how does that feel?
It feels great. We have a great community here. We have some very good organizations and a lot of community members that put their heart and soul into their organization and the goals that they have. You know, we have Pana Pride, we have Pana Parks Revitalization, Pana Historical Society, and they do so much for our community, both through volunteer hours and financially as well. Just keeping the town spruced up, clean, planning activities for, the rest of the community to get out and enjoy, and it's a great thing to see.
Yeah, we've really been learning that the difference in this economic development and in development as a community as a whole really takes the community members themselves and volunteer work and donating hours of their time. It's been really inspiring to hear that that's been happening. Give me a bit of a time frame. When do you feel that this started to pick up in Pana?
I'm gonna say Pana Pride's been around for several years.
Yeah.
I'd say it probably really started taking off 5 or 6 years or so ago. I know some of those organizations have been around a little longer than that, but just from my perspective, especially the last 5 years, it has just really picked up and taken off. One of the big things, and I know we're in the middle of July right here, but one of the big things Pana Pride has done, excuse me, is the large Christmas light display in the park, and that has just been phenomenal.
It's a very important thing there. Trying to start building these traditions. You mentioned the Christmas lights. Even the daddy-daughter dance was something that kids are going to look forward to. Families are going to remember that kind of thing. You think these are necessary steps to be taking to bring a town, into better economic development standings?
I do think it's important. It gets the community involved. It gets them excited, excited to see new things happening, excited to go out and support the businesses that we do have now. And we do have a good handful of new businesses from the last few years that have come to Pana, and we're so very grateful to have them here. We're trying to get that downtown feel back again.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly feels like a bigger accomplishment when you got businesses coming into town actually and starting their businesses. That's people being employed, people buying homes in towns is exactly what you're looking for there. You've spoke on Pana Pride a little bit. What's that? The Park Revitalization Committee. What did you call that?
Yep, the Pana Parks Revitalization. They are an organization that focuses mainly on the main parks here in town. We've got the historic Kitchell Park, we have Cahayas Park, and we have a couple other smaller parks in the community as well. And their main focus is raising money and helping with volunteer hours to keep updates in the park. One of the projects that they've done recently was some maintenance painting and such on the Chautauqua building. They are also planning a huge popcorn festival later this month in July 27th. That's in kind of coordination with the new company that built a facility in our industrial park and kind of welcome them to town and again get the community excited about the new things that are happening.
Yeah, that popcorn festival, it makes me excited just knowing that you have that Great Western Products facility. You have everything you need for that to become just a staple event in Pena's history there. A July event that could be the Taylorville Chili Fest in Pana. Do you get that? Do you get that sort of idea when you hear about that type of
Yeah,
event?
yeah. It might. You, I know historically we have been and continue to be the city of roses. Who knows? Maybe we'll be the city of popcorn.
That would be pretty cool right there. Where did the City of Roses come from?
The city of roses came from all of the greenhouses
Hmm.
that were in Pana for many, many years. We were one of the um, largest producers of mainly roses for the area, and that's kind of where it came from.
Wow.
There were I can't tell you how many for sure or how many acres it covered, but there were several greenhouses in Pana, and one of the things that they did was supply some of the flowers for the Rose Parade in California.
Wow. Okay. City of Roses there. We're learning all about that with
Yeah.
Kim Toberman. She's the Pana city clerk. And we've been talking all about Pana's development and just the positive forward movement they've been making. Kim, do you mind if we talk a little bit about your Pana city clerk position and how long you've been in that?
Sure, that'd be fine.
Cool.
I actually started with the city of Pana in 2021. I worked under former clerk Terry Klein. Upon his retirement, I was appointed to his position. So I've been the city clerk since January 1 of 22.
Very, very cool. Now, and this is a Googleable question right here, but for the people that might not know this out there, what is you as a city clerk, and what are city clerk responsibilities?
The city clerk has many hats.
Okay.
Of course, the main responsibility of the clerk is to maintain the records for the city, maintain the records for the council members for the meetings and committees. We're kind of the record keeper,
Yeah.
but outside of that, we do a lot of communication with the council members, the mayor, the attorney, all the different department heads. We have a lot of communication with the citizens in the community. Sometimes we're their first point of contact if there's a issue or concern that they need addressed, and we make sure that they get to the appropriate person and get it taken care of. That's a pretty important task that we have as well.
Extremely important. How have you been enjoying it since 2021?
I enjoy it a lot. It's different every day, which definitely makes for an interesting week, interesting day. It's definitely rewarding. I can honestly say that I love coming to work every day.
It's a really special thing, and rewarding is another great word to be able to use when describing your position there. This is Kim Toberman, Pana City Clerk. We're thanking her so much for taking the time speaking with us today. It is time for us to take our quick time out here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. This morning show is brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Along with Pizza Man, Norton's Hardware, Your Pana Save a Lot, Whiskey Bill, Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. Live stream brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark in Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. You've been listening to the WTIM Pana Morning Show. We'll be right back with Kim Toberman in just a little bit.
Your information station, WTIM.
Check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn and beans higher. Wheat trading lower. July corn up 4 1/4, 402 1/2. September corn up a nickel, 412. December new crop 424 3/4, up 4 1/4. July beans 1169 3/4, up 10 1/4. August beans up 10 3/4, 1156 3/4. New crop November 1121 3/4, up 10 3/4. September wheat down 5 1/4, 585. December wheat down a nickel, 607 1/2. July bean meal up 370, 369.40. July bean oil 46.58, up 75 cents. Livestock market at this hour. August feeders up $1.72, 259.10. August live cattle 184.85, up 57 cents. July lean hogs 89.30, up a dime. Energy market August crude oil 83.58, up 20 cents. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Attention hunters and gun owners, you must get to Locked and Loaded Sportsman Paradise in Pana. Take the short drive and shop Central Illinois' premier gun shop. Come see the huge inventory of firearms, ammo, hunting supplies, and accessories. In stock now, custom designed Locked and Loaded t-shirts and headgear. Brush up on your shooting skills at the indoor range featuring 7 shooting lanes. If it has to do with firearms or hunting, you'll find it at Locked and Loaded on Route 16 East in Pana. Locked and Loaded, open 6 days a week. Like them on Facebook.
We're all familiar with the 3 whats. What is it? What can it do for me? And what does it cost? At Country Financial, we can help you find the answers with insurance coverage to help protect what's most important to you, all at a price you can afford. So while you're juggling work and kids while trying to keep an eye on your future, we'll make sure we're one of the first ones there when you need us most. What should you do next? Call Nicole Patrick, your Country Financial representative, at 217-287-2332 to chat about your insurance needs today.
Despite overwhelming support from Democrats and Republicans, time is running out for Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act, which will keep AM radio in cars. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Agriculture is our largest industry. Your agriculture information station is WTIM, AM, FM, and online. Tune in or stream WTIM's over 8 hours a day of ag information featuring our local farm broadcaster to be in the know.
Jim Stepp, owner of Central Illinois Asphalt in Taylorville, helps protect your driveway or parking lot with recycled asphalt and environmentally friendly sealer. Let his 40 years of experience work for you at a reasonable price. Click his icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM's Pana Morning Show, brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Your Pana Save a Lot, Whiskey Bill Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. And also thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Taylorville Daily News. On the phone line, we have Kim Toberman, Pana City Clerk, and we're thanking her so much for taking the time. In the first half, we talked about Pana development. We talked about all the activities and volunteer work that really has driven Pana into where they are today in 2024. But the work's not done here. We talked a little bit about some newer businesses that entered into Pana in that first half there. What are those newer businesses, Kim?
We have several new businesses. Of course, the one that people will notice the most is the Jack Flash facility downtown. They seem to be doing really well. They've been a great addition. I think they've been received very well. And, with them coming, it did cause a few other businesses that we already had to move, but we also have Bruner Auto Supply and Save More that built new facilities as a result of Jack Flash coming. So they've been around for a while. Bruner's has been around for years, as long as I can remember. So we're glad that they're still here and that they're still thriving. A few other new ones that we've welcomed recently is the Sparrow Bicycle Shop downtown. It's not downtown, but we have the new Scooped Ice Cream Shop, Curly Girls Restaurant, Whiskey Bill's, Locked and Loaded, just to name a few. We've got a nice boutique downtown called Dally Bliss, which is a nice addition. Little things popping up here and there that we are so very grateful to see and hope that it continues as we try to revitalize the town and revitalize the downtown area.
Sure. I mean, that's a great list of businesses right there, and different genres of business I like to hear as well. You got your food and you have your automotive services and even your truck stop, which is very important. Talk to me a little bit more about Jack Flash. I didn't realize it had displaced a couple of businesses there. Really glad to hear they're still in town. Was that taken too negatively? Were these businesses okay with moving? Do you know anything about that?
I mean, I don't want to speak for them, and I did miss another one, but just for them to be able to get the facility they needed in that block of town. There were still some businesses in that block, and then there were obviously a lot of abandoned buildings as well. So I would like to think that they've been happy with their decision to move. I mentioned Bruner's and Save More Pharmacy. We also had Dagan's Auto Service. They built a great new facility right on the edge of town. So yeah, we're just really grateful that they want to continue to operate in Pana, and that it was able to happen for them.
Yeah, lucky that there were still locations open for those businesses to move into. Happy to know that they're still operating in Pana. You mentioned some locations, some buildings that might be a little bit might need a little bit of work done on them. Blighted properties has been something that Pana has been trying to tackle. You hear anything about that in your city clerk position? Is that something that will really drive Pana in the right direction?
Yes, we are definitely trying to address that downtown. There are several empty buildings right now, but we have companies and organizations, developers interested in them, shown interest in them, and communicating with our economic development director to come up with a plan and get them renovated and ready for occupancy.
Yeah, yet another big driver of people coming into town and staying in town is those empty buildings being turned into flourishing businesses. We've seen it kind of start to happen on the Taylorville Square here in Taylorville, and it's been really cool to see. And it's been cool to see a lot of local people starting up their businesses and almost having their dreams played out right in front of us. That's really cool.
Yeah.
How important is it then to shop local, stay in Pana? Are we getting closer to being able to get all your shopping done in the city of Pana?
I hope that we will be there very soon. Obviously, there are a lot of needs that the city of Pana meets currently. There's a few that we don't, but we're getting so close to being able to be at maybe the one-stop shop.
Yeah, it really does feel that way. You wanted to talk a little bit more about any downtown developments aside from taking up these empty building spaces of the current people operating. Have you seen them make any refurbishments to the front of their building, anything like that?
There has been some progress on one of the buildings. There's been some new windows and painting and repairs like that.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to see another area that they get started on real quick.
Yeah, we've been learning that with as so many developments are happening in existing properties on our square here in Taylorville, that these buildings have good bones. They have just aesthetic work needs to be done, but as far as the foundation and stuff, they're finding good things. Have you been hearing any words about that, where businesses can come in and they don't have too much to worry about on that side?
Well, we have a few that are like that. Yes,
Yeah.
we have some that are in very dire need of major repairs. But like I mentioned before, there are conversations that our economic development department is having with people, and they are more than willing to take on those responsibilities. So we hope to see that come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking forward to seeing that as well. Kim, we're in our last minute here. Do you have any last words for our listeners to send them off?
Just wanted, thank you for having me come on here. We've got a lot of great places, great retail restaurants here in Pana. So I invite anybody and everybody to come take a visit and enjoy what we have.
Absolutely. Kim, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That was Kim Toberman, Pana City Clerk. This has been the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Pizza Man, Norton's Hardware, Your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon, and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited. I've been Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for tuning in today.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.
From townhall.com, I'm Rich Thomason. After the budget-busting inflation of the past 3.5 years, Fed Chair Jerome